Hey guys, your friend Spencer here. I want to talk to you about something very interesting that just came across my desk the other day. Now, we just released Third Adam 3 last Friday or so, and man, we have had a wonderful run with that video so far. It has been exciting to see all the views and the just really overwhelming positive response we've had to that, and that was a great blessing. Thank you guys for watching that, and I hope that you share it with as many people as you possibly can. Now, in that video, we talked about the occult and how that, God divided things, and their job and their goal really is to try to put things back together. And I've said it over and over again. I want to say it again on this channel that God is a divider and Satan is a uniter. And I want everybody to really get that. God is a divider and Satan is a uniter. And we try to deal with that, talked about that in Third Adam 3. But one of the things that came across my desk that I just was blown away by, because it just lines up perfectly with our documentary, and that is this new article from the Daily Wire about a new Cinderella movie that is coming out. And Sony Pictures is doing a remake of this. And it says here in the headline, New Cinderella to feature male fairy godmother who teaches that, quote, magic has no gender. Now, for those of you who have seen Third Adam 3, you will understand very quickly what this means. This is androgyny. And the truth is, okay, now what's going to happen is that there's going to be a lot of evangelical people are going to get very upset about this film, but that headline is not wrong. That headline is correct. And these people are, all they're doing now, it used to be they tried to cleverly disguise who they were and what they were trying to go for. And that's what they used to do. And so a lot of people didn't catch it. But now they're just kind of just slowly pulling the veil away. And as they take these incremental steps to reveal to you what they really believe and what this agenda really is, a lot of people getting upset, and it's been there the whole time. You just didn't really catch it. So let me read this article to you. This is Sony Pictures' studio is set to produce another live-action remake of Cinderella with a diverse cast meant to better reflect the studio's audience. And this time, the fairy godmother, as it is now known as the Fab G, which I see the humor in that, and will be played by a male Emmy-winning pose actor, Billy Porter. Now, of course, that's Billy Porter right there. You may not be real familiar with Billy Porter, but here are just some pictures of him. He's the guy who's been showing up at the Grammys wearing like a dress, and real flamboyant human being. And he's always doing stuff like this, and that's what he's really known for, is that. And he's always wearing women's clothing, and as you can see right there, just a very wild human. I mean, this guy he's out there. I guess if that's what they're going for, I guess they could not have picked a better person to fill this role. But it says here that the aim of Porter's role, the film's writer-director Kay Cannon told the Entertainment Weekly, is to teach that, quote, magic has no gender. That's what these people are saying. And they are correct. Magic is a genderless thing, and it's designed to eliminate genders. That is what magic has always been designed to do. The Fab G, EW reports, is, quote, here to help our modern Cindy manifest her inner princess. That sounds like the rise of the divine feminine. Let your inner princess come out. That's what these people are doing. We called it right. That documentary, we nailed it in that documentary. With the Lord's help, we showed you exactly what these people are trying to do. And that's what they're saying. She's trying to manifest her inner princess. Rise of the divine feminine. Wanting to avoid comparisons to fairy godmother's past, Cannon says she decided early on simply to, quote, make it Billy Porter. Porter, of course, is famous for his gender-bending carpet looks. As a correspondent for most of the major award shows, Porter often appears in a long ball gown or covered in sparkly accessories as a way of making a statement about A-lister fashion. And indeed, in a set of promotional photos sent to media the same time as Disney announced the film's updated post-COVID release date, Porter is outfitted in the role of Fab G in a flowing copper-colored gown and custom Jimmy Choo butterfly boots. Jimmy Choo, that just sounds flamboyant. But that's what this person is going to be doing in this film. Okay, so I want to share this with you and just give you a few thoughts from the Bible here. The Bible says in Deuteronomy 22:5, this is the book of Deuteronomy was given to the nation of Israel as they're wandering in the wilderness, and as they wandered in the wilderness those 40 years. There was a lot of pagan influences all around them, much like today. I mean, this world is pagan in itself, and if you don't really believe that, go watch the opening ceremony of the Olympics or something like that. You will see nothing but just straight paganism permeating the entirety of everything that's going on. But the Lord said this to the nation of Israel in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22, verse 5. He said, "The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment. For all that do so are an abomination unto the Lord thy God." That's a verse that's been in the Bible long before you and I came around. And so there's been a lot of people preach this through the years. Matter of fact, I got saved at a church in Georgia where many of the older women in that church, they were raised that a woman should never wear pants because of this verse right here. And there was a lot of old timers, and we're talking 20 years ago. So, we're talking just a long time ago. Probably, 50 years ago, a lot of people felt this way. But this is kind of, by today's standards, that's laughable. But a lot of these old timers, man, they thought that a woman should never wear a pair of pants, ever. And, I've even read the history of the bikini, and they thought that there's no way, like that was like pornographic by those standards of those days. Now it's just, it's no big deal now. But back, these old timers used to think that a woman wearing pants was a lewd thing because that was a man's garment. Now we look at, of course, we look at like Billy Porter, and many of us look at these garments that he wears and thinks, oh, Lord have mercy, what in the world? Well, back, like in the 1940s, 1950s in America, if a woman wore a pair of pants, they had the same reaction to that we would looking at Billy Porter right now. And so that's just something to think about. But that's what people used to believe. But why did the Lord say this? Why did the Lord put this in the Bible? Well, the answer to that is pretty simple. Is because paganism in all forms of it, all derivatives of it, all names, labels, whatever you want to call it, all of that blurs the lines of everything, including gender. Now, I know that there's a lot of political talk around the idea of genders today, and I think Demi Lovato, the actress, came out and said, I'm non-binary. There's been a lot of actresses that have said that as well, and and you can do whatever you want. I'm not here to hate on you for that. You're an adult with free will. You can make whatever choices you make, and I just ask that you extend the same courtesy to me. But why do they do that? It's because the pagan theologies and pagan ideologies think that gender is a construct that has a very negative connotation. It's like it's a dangerous thing to put yourself in that box. And the reason is because God made that box. And if you look in 3 Adam 3, Rise of the Divine Feminine, you will realize that they want to get out of these hierarchies that God's created and go into more of a balance type state, which is rejecting the biblical worldview and going into an esoteric worldview. And so I want to show you also, too, if you study the book of 1 Corinthians, man, this church had a lot of pagan influences around it. I mean, these people were just like in the thick of all sorts of paganism. And I want you to see here in verse number 9 through 11, it says here in 1 Corinthians 6, "Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God? Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers." And notice this phrase right here, "nor effeminate." Do you see that right there? That's an effeminate. When you think of it like an effeminate man, it's a man who acts like a woman. He's feminine, effeminate. And that's what these people were. And when these people get into paganism, men get into paganism, they become effeminate. Now, I remember when I was a teenager, and I was, I got saved when I was 18, so I was kind of new to church, new to the Christian world, had to learn the names of who's who in this world. I noticed that there were a lot of people that were like my peers, that were around my age, that they they didn't want to be in a fundamental church. They didn't want to be in a church where where the old timers thought that a woman wearing pants was weird. They didn't want to be in a church like that, and it's almost laughable now. But they would go into a contemporary style church or a modernistic style church. And I noticed real quick that when these guys went into these kind of churches, that it's almost like they became girly. And I didn't understand, things that I know now, but I just kind of made that observation. I said, these guys, when they get into all this Hillsong stuff, they start acting really sissy. And I wasn't being unkind or cruel or, malicious when I said that, but I thought, that is weird that they it's like they switch like that. I don't know. I just thought it was weird. But I think that's what happens when a person gets into the occult, especially a male. They become effeminate. But now the good news is that, God can save you out of that. Verse 11 says, "And such were some of you, but you're washed, you're sanctified, you're justified in the name of the Lord Jesus and by the Spirit of our God." And so 1 Corinthians chapter 11 is another chapter that there's just some interesting things there that I want to point out in that you see here in verse number 14, it says, "Doth not even nature itself teach you that if a man have long hair, it is a shame unto him?" There was a friend of mine years ago told a story how that he was driving down the road and there was this car that was like a convertible and in front of him and a little bit one lane over. And he said, "Man, that's the prettiest looking girl I ever seen in my life." And he pulled up to the side of the car and looked over, and it was a man with long blonde hair flowing in the wind. and we always had a good laugh about that story. But why does the Bible say that? Why did he say it even to the Corinthian people? Well, because men were wanting to have long hair, and I think it has something to do with the pagan influences of those times. And it says even verse number 15, "But if a woman have long hair, is a glory to her, for her hair is given to her for a covering." So you see, even the Bible talks about men having short hair, women having long hair, and that men should not wear women's garments and women should not wear men's garments. And so however you define that in your own personal life, that's between you and the Lord. I know that we have made some decisions as far as our family, as far as that. But guys, this is a real thing. Like, this is not, when I speak of this is not the preferences of Brother Spencer. This is an actual biblical issue that should matter to us. And so when we see guys like Billy Porter and we think, "Oh my goodness, what is that guy trying to do?" Well, this is what they're doing. They're into the occult, and magic has no gender. And that is a correct statement. They are not wrong when they say that, because magic and esotericism is always trying to undo the divisions that God has created. And one of those divisions that God has created is male and female. And if you want to know more about that, you please go watch 3rd Adam 3. We've had a massive response to that, 81,000 views in a week, which for our channel is pretty good. I'm not like, mega viral or whatever, but that is a really good number, a good metric so far. And we want to encourage you to take time to watch that, 2 hours and 21 minutes and 26 seconds. And I believe it'd be time well spent. We packed a lot of information in there. I've had people email me saying they've watched it 3 and 4 times already and have filled up notepads with information. And we thank God for that, the great response that people are giving us. Very positive feedback on that. And so, guys, this right here, when we deal with these type of issues, when these people say that magic has no gender, you're going to see more and more of this in the near future. You're going to see all of you're going to see on a mass scale like you are already. It's going to get worse, but you're going to see this massive rejection of the idea of boys and girls, male and female. Why? Why are you going to see that? You're going to see that because of this right here, because magic has no gender. And the farther away you get from God, the closer you get to this. And that's just how it works. Matter of fact, I'll leave you guys with this thought. I was looking at the Temple of Diana. Do y'all remember that the Apostle Paul went into the Temple of Diana, or the theater where they yelled at him and said, "Great is the goddess of Diana"? Well, that religion of Diana worship, the people that were the priests of that religion, the ones that were like actually in the temple doing the day-to-day operations of that religion, were actually like these hermaphrodite type people. And most of the time they were gay men that were running that religion. So the androgynous aspect is even there. Matter of fact, there's a religion, and I've got to go look it up. I had the notes on it. I don't have them anymore. But there was a pagan religion in the Polynesian and Hawaiian world for a long time, where the people who ran that were hermaphrodite-type creatures as well. Okay, all of this is linked together, and please, the spirit of this video, I'm not hating on these people. I'm not even attacking Billy Porter. I mean, I'm not saying anything negative about him. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to educate Christian people on, okay, you see these people doing this, but why are they doing this? What is the theological roots that is causing these philosophies to show in their lives? What are they doing? And I think I make a good case here. So that's what they're doing. That's what they believe here. That's what's going on. So go watch 3 Adam 3, Rise of the Divine Feminine. And Billy Porter, the Fab G, is going to help the modern Cindy manifest her inner princess. That sounds like the Rise of the Divine Feminine to me. But what do I know? I'm just a guy with the Bible here. So God bless you, friend. We love you, and we will talk to you soon. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and become a channel member if you haven't done so already. You can support our work that way. And thank you guys very much. God bless you. Thank you very much.